Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
This is Prime Crime Network.
A 12-year-old is accused of murdering a Sonic employee while the employee was on the job.
The preteen was arrested alongside a 20-year-old for yesterday's shooting. Now, police say that 20-year-old, Angel Gomez, is also charged with tampering with evidence, but his charge could be upgraded. Police say he was with the unnamed 12-year-old who shot 34-year-old Matthew Davis repeatedly in the back with an AR-15. It happened in Keene, 30 miles south of Fort Worth, where neighbors are rattled, they say, by this violent incident in their small town.
And the victim's mother, she's a flight attendant based here out of North Texas. She was out of state when she got the call from Keene police to head home to Keene on Mother's Day. A shocking murder Saturday night in the middle of town. A 12-year-old boy arrested for repeatedly shooting a Sonic employee with an AR-15 rifle. The crime brought people out who did not know the victim to pay their respects.
I see that there's been some fresh flowers added, a teddy bear, some flowers over here, and I love it. I love it. I feel like Matt would have loved it and appreciated it, and I hope that it just brings a tiny bit of comfort to his family. It's such a horrible thing that happened to them.
Jen Baggett of Keene says she felt compelled to start this memorial with a cross for the family of 32-year-old Matt Davis.
I was in disbelief. Like I said, I've got two. My youngest is now 17, and I couldn't imagine that happening.
Keene police say Saturday evening, just before 10 p.m., multiple people called 911 reporting a shooting in the Sonic parking lot.
I was outside. My fiance had actually just ran in the house, and I heard a bunch of gunshots.
Dylan Elliott lives nearby and heard the loud gunfire. Minutes later, a Care Flight helicopter was landing.
You see them every once in a while, but you never see them flying low and this close to home, at least.
According to police, this started when 20-year-old Angel Gomez of Fort Worth arrived at the Sonic with others in his vehicle. Gomez allegedly began urinating in the back parking lot, so Davis came outside to speak with him. There was a fight between the two, and that's when police say the 12-year-old shooting suspect, a passenger, grabbed the AR-15 rifle from Gomez's vehicle and shot Davis multiple times. He later died at the hospital. Police say Gomez ran away with the AR-15, but then returned and was arrested. The 12-year-old also took off. Keene police and nearby agencies located him at a home in Rio Vista, along with several firearms. Gomez is charged with tampering with evidence for leaving the scene with the AR-15. Police say it's possible that charge could be upgraded to murder. The 12-year-old suspect is at a juvenile facility in Granbury.
A 12-year-old in this day has access to a gun to kill someone. It breaks my heart, actually.
Davis's family tells Fox 4 he leaves behind a 10-year-old son and a fiance. His mother is working to bury her son in Louisiana, where he's from.
Gotta have the Louisiana beans.
Baggett says she spoke to Davis's family briefly on Sunday. She learned Davis had just moved to Keene and started the job at Sonic 2 weeks ago.
He was so proud of this job. He'd come in an hour early, and it just breaks my heart because he was killed here.
Keene police tell me it's still under investigation who the AR-15 rifle belonged to. The
Prime Crime Network.
It was exclusive.
$750,000?
That's correct.
A man accused of stabbing a woman and stuffing her in a container flips out and then flips off the judge. This guy, furious that his bond was $750,000. Meanwhile, the victim here is lucky to be alive.
As that suspect went off in court today. See, I don't think I've ever seen anybody flip off a judge like that.
Cleveland police say officers made the gruesome discovery at Edmund Geiger's home near West 97th and Lorraine after they were tipped off by a woman who said the man showed her photos of the victim tied up in the basement. After searching the house twice, officers say they heard what sounded like a heavy object being dragged across the front porch and moaning calls for help. That's when police say they found a woman stuffed and folded inside of a 3x3 plastic container. her body motionless with the lid sealed. Miraculously, officers say the woman was still alive and told them she was paralyzed and in pain. She was taken to Metro Health with life-threatening injuries. Edmund Geiger Sr. was arrested and charged, booked into jail on $500,000 bond. Monday morning, he pled not guilty to the charges and took issue with the fact that the judge raised his bond.
$750,000? That's correct, and there's also a probation hold. Well, okay, can y'all lift the hold and at least let me try to post bond? I don't think nobody in the courtroom got $750,000. You'll have to speak with the judge assigned to this case, which is Judge Holly Gallagher. I'm off the fire. I need a new judge. I need a site judge and everything. That's crazy. Why y'all open my bond?
And when the judge didn't reply to him, he flipped her off. His next court date has not been set.
Today, the ex-boyfriend of a murdered nurse is in custody, bringing an end to the manhunt that started when Patricia Wilson was abducted and killed over the weekend. Now we've learned the man in custody has connections to another case of a woman's disappearance more than a decade ago. Sean Lay is live with all these new developments. Sean.
Startling new developments, Kimberly. Good evening to you. Jameer Miller, we're told, turned himself in yesterday, police say, in connection with that kidnapping over the weekend of nurse Patricia Wilson, as you mentioned, and she was later found murdered. Let's go back to 2011. Miller had a girlfriend at the time. Her name was Bianca Green. They have a child together. She went missing. Now we're told that case is being ripped wide open. The manhunt for 36-year-old Jameer Miller coming to an end Sunday afternoon when he surrendered to police. He's in custody as police continue to investigate the shocking events of this past Saturday. Miller's ex-girlfriend, a nurse named Patricia Wilson, was leaving her overnight shift at Detroit Receiving Hospital. Police say she was abducted, named Miller as the suspect, and Wilson's body was later found in the trunk of her vehicle parked in Novi. Now let's go back to March 25th of 2011. That's when the family of an expected mother named Bianca Green urged the public to help find her. She had gone missing from Romulus and has never been found. Green's family asking for help at a Crime Stoppers event at that time. And standing right there, Bianca Green's boyfriend at the time, Jameer Miller, the same man police say abducted Patricia Wilson Saturday morning. Detroit Police James White says the missing case of Bianca Green, and if Miller is involved in her disappearance, is now a new and wide open investigation.
I was made aware of that as a part of this investigation, and everything is going to be looked at, including anything from that case as well. I don't know the status of that case. I know our detectives are in contact with the agency of origin on that particular missing persons. We're going to cooperate with them, pull their files, and we'll be working together to see if there's any correlation or if there's anything we can help them with.
Back here live, here's the latest. Miller, with his attorney, turned himself in yesterday to the Detroit Correction Facility. He's being held there tonight. Kimberly, waiting tomorrow to see if charges will be filed in the nurse case of Patricia Wilson, and then re-examining this old case from 2011. Green's family hoping for new information. And again, police say they're just starting to scratch the surface of that one. Detroit police comparing notes with Romulus police.
Thank you for watching Prime Crime Network, your source for urban and suburban and around the world news. Hit the subscribe, like, and the notification bell. And check us out on PrimeCrimeNetwork.com.